I'm back again with some inspiration and motivation from my time going through the Bible this year. Today, I am focusing on Matthew 18:23. And could be a parable that's pretty familiar to you if you've grown up going to church and doing Bible studies. But just in case it's not too familiar to you, here's a little recap. So it's titled The Parable of the Unforgiving Servant. And so there's this master, right? And he has these servants, and this one servant owes him big, owes him a ton. And so he calls the servant in, and the servant's like freaking out because he knows how much he owes his master. And I'm guessing that the bigger the debt, probably the worse the punishment, right? So, and he's not going to be able to pay it back. Not even a little. Not even like a payment plan. Not even like if he gives up Starbucks once a week, he can pay it back in like 36 months. No, he can't pay it back. So he's freaking out and talking to the master. And then the master forgives his debt. He's walking in thinking the worst thing's going to happen, right? And he's upset about it, goes to his master, can't pay it. And master says, you know what? I forgive you of all your debt. Your debts are good. You're good. Now, I don't know how you would celebrate that if you were the servant, but I'm pretty sure, at least I would hope, we wouldn't, but actually we do kind of do this. He celebrates this by going to another servant who owes him a tiny debt, teeny tiny, probably like the other servant went through Chick-fil-A, and him and his friend went through Chick-fil-A, and he owed him, $5. Chick-fil-A, $10. And he demands to know where his $10 is, and beats the servant and does all these terrible things to him. Well, all the other servants see this happen, so they go tell their master. And they're like, man, that servant guy, you forgave his big debt. You know what he did? He went, and this other guy owed him a teeny tiny amount, and he just whooped him, put him in jail, said, you have to pay me my debt back. So that master, as you can imagine, was not too happy about that. And so he called him back in. He said he was wicked and had him thrown in jail. Decided to do a little take back, okay, that debt that I said I was going to forgive for you? And I hadn't forgot, but I forgave it. But it seems like that's not how you want to play this game. So you know what? Why don't you just think about your choices over in jail? And so while we can kind of maybe laugh at that or be like, oh my gosh, I would never do that. Or how could he do that? It brings us to our topic today. Good old forgiveness, right? If I asked if there was someone in your life that you have not forgiven for something, a few names might pop up into your head. And so this is not such an easy discussion, right? And you might be like, Farron, it wasn't a debt. If you knew what this person did, you would understand and you'd start justifying to me why it was okay to not forgive somebody. And so this can be a very tough road to navigate. But we are called to forgive others the way God has forgiven us. And I encourage you that if you are truly struggling with forgiveness, that you reach out to church leaders. Here at Witty and Gritty, we're very proud supporters of therapy and counseling, especially Christian counseling. And I encourage you to take those steps towards forgiveness. One point I will talk about is we do believe that there's a difference between forgiveness and setting boundaries. So if you forgive somebody for a terrible act they've done, that doesn't mean you run right back into a situation that could end in the same results. It doesn't mean putting yourself or your family in harm's way for the sake of forgiveness, right? So forgiving somebody is, again, that Christ-like heart, saying that I am forgiving you as my God, my Lord, my Savior has forgiven me. But it doesn't mean that you have to like put down all walls and have no boundaries and just blindly walk into situations that could result in a similar outcome. So definitely ponder that for a little bit. Could you forgive, maybe with some help? There are some terrible things that happen in this world, god-awful things that happen in this world that are not easy to forgive, 100%. But could you work towards forgiveness, but still continue to set boundaries to keep you and your family safe? So that's what I want to encourage you to do today. And then again, your prayer today might be to pray for a Christ-like heart. Improve your ability to forgive others. Because maybe you're a chronic unforgiver, meaning if someone looks at you wrong, that's it. I'm never speaking to them again. You don't know what people are going through, and it's not fun to be snapped at or have your head bitten off or get cut off on the highway. Yep, you got to forgive those people too. But if you can, again, develop this ability to forgive on the minor things, it'll build your endurance and strength to forgive other people on the tougher topics. And again, forgiveness does not mean free reign for those that have hurt you. Forgiveness is more of a heart issue, and then setting boundaries again to keep you and your family safe. All right, guys, get out there. Have a great day. Talk to you again real soon.